Hello, my name's Lauren and I'm a third year psychology student here in Bangor, and I'm just going to mention to you briefly about my housing experiences here. From my first year, rather than staying in halls of residence, I personally opted to rent privately, and both times that I've rented, I'm in my second property now, I found both properties on Bangor's own accommodation website, so I would highly recommend that. Both times I've also been really lucky in terms of having landlords that have lived close by or work next door during the day. And I think that there's a lot to be said about that. It's not always within your control, but if you can maintain a reasonable relationship with your landlords and speak to them every now and again, have a chat and make sure that you all feel comfortable with each other, it makes everything go much more smoothly if things ever do go wrong or there are any issues at all. I've also been very lucky in terms of the condition of the houses. I've never really had any big problems, and overall I really love living in Bangor, and I'd like to stay as long as I can really, and keep finding little nice houses to stay in. The one thing I will say that I've had that stressed me out a little bit was in the search for finding places. There aren't that many places in Bangor that will house one or two people, like 1 or 2 bedroom places. They all tend to be larger, and personally I wanted to live somewhere either just me by myself or me and my partner, just someone I felt completely comfortable with. So I began to worry, and I began to sort of look far too early really, and worried myself. But the thing is, it's not just term time people, the undergraduates, you've got master students, you've got PhD students, so there are always lettings that are going to come up. So my first tip for student housing looking for somewhere would be, don't worry too much. There is always something that will come up for you. There's never a sort of dry spell in terms of no properties being available to you. So yeah, my first tip is don't worry. My second tip for renting would be not to feel that you have to take the first place you see. Again, especially in my first year, I think I felt a little bit pressured to take the first place I saw, and it was only after talking with my partner at the time that I sort of felt, no, it's fine, something else will come up, and as I say, it always does. So make sure it's somewhere that you're perfectly happy with, somewhere that you can picture yourself, and somewhere you can feel at home. My third tip would be work out your finances. The place I'm in currently, I love my little flat, I'm very lucky, have a really good relationship with my landlords and everything else, but the rent just for myself is quite expensive. I'm currently paying £600 a month just for myself, although that does include all utilities and unlimited internet. But again, you know, it's only really because of some financial help that I'm able to afford that place. And I would hate to have ended up overcommitting myself. So I would say, you know, do be really careful before you jump into somewhere, even if you find somewhere that you think, I really love this place, I want to take this one. Because there was somewhere that I had to turn down that I would have loved to have stayed in, but it was more expensive than where I am now. But in hindsight, I'm really glad that I turned it down, because I would be struggling and I wouldn't be particularly happy there now. But yeah, I think that's it. I think I've personally not had any bad experiences with housing, but I would say shop around first, don't feel pressured into taking the first place you see, try to maintain a good relationship with your landlords, and have fun living in Bangor.